afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the UNC Charlotte Summer 2024 Graduate Student Orientation. My name is Caitlin Klotz, and I'm a fourth-year doctoral student in the Department of Biological Sciences within the College of Science. Additionally, I'm the president of Graduate and Professional Student Government for the 2024-2025 academic year, and I'm excited to spend the next year serving the graduate student community here at UNC Charlotte. I'd like to congratulate all of you on your decision to join the graduate student body at UNC Charlotte and encourage you to ask questions and explore all of the resources and support services that exist to give you the most positive and empowering graduate student experience possible. Everyone in this meeting is excited that you're here, and we hope that this orientation will give you the information that you need to get started on your graduate school adventure. At this time, I would like to introduce Interim Associate Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Pinku Mukherjee.
Thank you, Caitlin, for kicking this off. Congratulations to all of you. As Caitlin said, my name is Pinku Mukherjee, and I'm the Interim Dean of the Graduate School. I'm so excited that you chose Charlotte to be your home for a few years as you graduate and you go through this journey. So as an undergraduate, you work to gain all this valuable knowledge, a foundation for what is to come. Now you will build on this foundation and really become the innovators and the creators of knowledge. So this is really exciting time for you. You may or may not know this, but Charlotte is now going to be an R1 university, which is the highest accolade for any top tier research university. There are about 146 of them in the US, and Charlotte will be Charlotte will join that group of 146 universities next year. So this is a real opportune time for all of you here. We really, really admire that you've chosen Charlotte to be your home, and we hope that your journey is going to be fantastic. We are graduating record numbers of students, graduate students, every single year. So this is really a great moment of pride for UNC Charlotte. And our research and innovation has really kind of gone to the level that is also of great pride. So over the years and over a few months, what you will meet a lot of people, your faculty, your graduate leaders, such as Caitlin and GPSG, other leaders in GPSG. You know, they will really be welcoming. This is a really welcoming campus environment, and they will serve as your mentors, as your advisors, as your friend, and will really help you become the world-class citizen and researcher that you have come to Charlotte to become. The fact is that you are a very critical component of this university to maintain our R1 status and to move this university forward in that direction. So you play a very integral part in shaping what's next, which is the strategic plan for our university. And I hope that all of you go to that website and look that up and see how important your role is going to be here while you do your graduate work. So we want you to, of course, have the most enriching and meaningful experience that you will carry with you each and every day. For example, if you have any questions regarding your studies, you can speak to your advisor, your department coordinator, visit Niner Central in Cone Building, or contact the graduate school. The staff is amazing. You will really, really enjoy talking to them. Someone will be there to help you and answer your questions. I also urge you to check out the professional development opportunities at our Reynolds Center for Graduate Life and Learning, and you will learn a lot about that in from the next person. The Reynolds CGLL, as we call it. There you will find a host of career preparation resources. If you pay student fees, you also have access to our counseling center, which is, in addition to one-on-one counseling, also hosts group therapy and affinity group events. As I remember, graduate school can be very stressful. I encourage you to seek support if you need it. There are people here to help you. Now, as you embark on your graduate journey, remember that many of us here on campus will keep the memory of Ms. Bonnie Cohn alive, who was the founder of this university, and want nothing more than to see our students succeed. We hope that you will be passionate about the work you are embarking on and in becoming true Niners. One day, your achievement will be the ones people mention when the topic of excellent graduate education arises. Welcome again and go Niners. Now I want to introduce you to the Assistant Dean of Graduate Academic Services, Dr. Sandra Kraus.
Thank you, Dean Mukherjee. And I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to you all. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about expectations for graduate students. Faculty are going to anticipate that you will be actively engaged in problem solving and idea development, with an emphasis on transitioning into an independent scholar. This journey fosters autonomous learning and self-advocacy with a lot less guidance. You will be expected to pose insightful questions that will contribute value to discussions, conduct additional research when you struggle with concepts, and independently seek out resources to make good, steady progress. It's critically important that you understand the concept of academic integrity, concepts like plagiarism, what type of collaboration is allowed, and even more now, generative AI. If you don't understand these concepts or have questions, please speak with the instructor and your academic advisor, because academic integrity misconduct is a serious offense and it can result in suspension or termination. The graduate school grading scale is A, B, C, U, a little different than when you were an undergraduate student. You're expected to make A's and B's. A C is okay, but the accumulation of 3 C grades will result in suspension. And that is the graduate school policy. Some of your programs may have stricter policies, so I would encourage you to make sure you understand what those are as well. Let's talk a little bit now about the role your advisor plays in your academic journey. They're not just guides, they are mentors, and they should be dedicated to empowering you. Their primary responsibility is to help you develop a diverse set of skills and strategies to help you navigate the entire graduate student life cycle and beyond. You should think of them as a compass in a sea of academia. By aligning mutual expectations and fostering a collaborative environment, you ensure that you are on the right course towards your academic goals. One of the pillars of a successful mentor-mentee relationship is effective communication. You must communicate your needs, your concerns, and your aspirations clearly, and by doing so, set expectations to create a framework of mutual understanding. You need to be transparent about your academic goals, your timeline, and any other challenges that may arise along the way. Your mentor should also outline their expectations for you, whether it's regarding coursework, research, or professional development. Building a strong relationship is key to ensuring a successful academic journey. This means actively engaging with your mentor, seeking their guidance, and working together to overcome obstacles. Remember, it's not just about receiving advice, but also actively participating in your own growth. This will demonstrate your commitment to graduate studies, and that's really important. The graduate school serves as the authority for policies and processes specific to graduate study. You are assigned a college liaison in the graduate school who acts as a one-stop shop for any question you might have. And you can locate this information by college in the graduate school directory. I think that's in the chat. It's important to familiarize yourself with resources and tools such as DegreeWorks. That will help you track your progress, your course progress, as well as your milestones. Now, encountering academic challenges is inevitable, but you're not alone in navigating this. Academic petitions provide a pathway for seeking exceptions as needed. And beyond academic assistance, you'll find a number of support services throughout your that will help you throughout your student experience. The Graduate Writing Center provides invaluable support in developing your academic writing skills. The Career Center can help you shape the trajectory of your professional career. The Food Pantry will ensure that no student faces food insecurity. The Counseling Center offers lots of support for mental health and emotional well-being. But lastly, do not overlook the importance of engaging with the Center for Graduate Life and Learning. They provide opportunities for personal and professional development, which will enrich your overall university experience. But the biggest takeaway I want you to get from my presentation is that the Graduate School is here to support your journey. So congratulations. We're excited that you are here, and we look forward to helping you succeed. So I'd like to now introduce Scott Deo, who was the Graduate Student Ombuds. Scott?
Hi, everyone. I am so happy to have the opportunity to address you today. I'm putting my website in the chat there so you can learn a little bit more. So I serve as the University Ombuds and serve faculty, staff, and graduate students. And it's if you've never had an ombuds before or had any experience, I'll just take a minute to explain it. But first, I just want to say that, welcome. This is such an exciting time. There's a strong sense of community and collaboration here, and we're on a journey together. How do we build and sustain a culture that's centered on you and those around you? And you're now on this interconnected journey together, and with all these shared goals. So, I just want to reemphasize that the journey together is just as important as the destination. And sometimes the reality doesn't always match up with the ideal, and so in those unusual situations, there's an ombuds for you. And what I'm here to do is to provide a listening ear to help any situations that you're encountering that are unusual or anomalous, not quite sure how to address it or where to go. I can help serve as that listening ear in a confidential, impartial, and independent way. So as an independent ombuds, I'm outside of the usual administrative structures. I work reporting to the chancellor's office. I'm impartial, so I'm not advocating for one side or the other. But most importantly, I'm confidential. So barring imminent harm, what you say to me stays with me. And so we can have that safe conversation to talk about what's going on and figure out what are the range of choices that you have? What are the options? What are some of the pros and cons of those possible choices? And I'm here to help you think through how you'd like to proceed in that regard, in those situations. So in addition to individual cases, I also keep an eye on some recurring or systemic issues that I can share with the administration. So anyway, that's basically in a nutshell what an ombuds is. I encourage you to go onto the website ombuds.charlotte.edu to learn a little bit more. And if you'd like to make an appointment with me, it's a very easy Calendly link on the website, and it's very easy to hop on the calendar. So welcome. Thank you. I look forward to working with you. Perhaps we'll meet at a tabling event in the future. So I'm going to turn it back over to Caitlin Klotz, the Graduate and Professional Student Government President.
Thank you. So Dr. Deo just mentioned that I am the president of Graduate and Professional Student Government, and I just wanted to make sure that you know that GPSG is here to support and advocate for graduate students. So I will put our link in the chat so that you can access that. But we are here to make sure that you have the best graduate student experience possible, and we do that through advocacy, support, travel funding, and graduate student organizations. So there are plenty of opportunities for you all to get involved. Turn this to Dr. Young.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, everybody. I'm Aura Young. You've heard from me a number of times this summer because I've emailed everybody numerous times. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen, and I've got a little poll everywhere activity that I think might be interesting. Do you guys see a map? Is this correct? Okay. So if you use your phone's camera and scan that QR code, you should be able to tell us where you're from. And this will start populating soon. When you scan the QR code, it'll ask you if you want to register, but you can skip that. You don't have to do those things. Oh, look, Italy. My colleague is from Italy. Laura Pagani here in the CGLL. Oh, look, there are some very far away places here. Wow. Yeah, in the summertime, most of our incoming students are domestic. And then in the fall, we have a lot more international students. We have a lot of international students here in our graduate student population. All right, that's pretty exciting. Okay, I think we can keep populating this map, and I'm going to go to the next question. I might flip back here and see what it looks like in a second. What's your program? There's another QR code up here at the top. Master of Social Work. What else do we have? Wow. A lot of nursing students. A lot of counseling students. Goodness gracious. Anesthesia is a popular word here. Wow. Goodness, we got a lot of nursing students coming in. Okay, I'm going to go to my third question here, if it'll let me. Okay. How are you feeling about starting your first semester? Nervous. Okay, so we're doing this orientation so people will hopefully feel less nervous and anxious and overwhelmed. Hopefully by the end of this orientation, you'll be feeling more like pumped will be a bigger word. Money. Yeah. So excited and nervous. All right, cool. I'm going to just like pop back to the map again. I happen to be obsessed with maps, so I just wanted to check that out. Okay. All right. Well, I'm super glad to have everybody here. Like I said, I'm Aura Young. I'm the Associate Director of the Center for Graduate Life and Learning. And I'm here today with our Graduate Life Fellows who are going to introduce themselves. So we have 8 Graduate Life Fellows this year. Normally we have 7. We put a call out for Graduate Life Fellows in the springtime. It's highly competitive. What they do is they act as like liaisons between the Center for Graduate Life and Learning and the graduate students. So they convey to us, you know, the needs of graduate students and the concerns of graduate students. And they suggest helpful programming that we could put together. They organize our fall social. They help organize the graduate research symposium in the springtime, which is a huge event. They do a lot of really super helpful things, and they're listed on our website. So you can always like find them there, get in touch, you know, get the support you need from them. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the ones that I see first. And I'm just going to ask you guys to briefly introduce yourselves and, you know, just say who you are, where you're from, what your program of study is, or, you know, what your interests are. Naz, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. First of all, welcome to Charlotte. And my name is Naz Tumpa, and I am a Graduate Life Fellow for the academic year of 2024 to 2025. And I'm a Chemistry and Nanoscale Science PhD student, and I'm about to start my 3rd year. I just finished my 2nd year. And yeah, actually, I'm working on some color changing material. In the meantime, I'm also working with illegal drug detection. That's my actually research area is. And in the meantime, as a GLF or as a Graduate Life Fellow, as I selected this year, so I'll try to help all the graduate students who ever need their help. For example, like basically with the housing, with the other education system they want to know, or the scholarship or other things, whatever I know, I try to help or fill this up. And please, to all the graduate students, whoever is new here, you can reach out to me. You can find my email in the GLF or Graduate Life Fellow website. And also, Basically, I want to highlight one thing. Whoever is international student here, you can reach out to me anytime with any types of help, and I'll try to fill that up, and I'll try to help my level best. And thanks again, and welcome to Charlotte again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Naz. How about Andrew? I know you're here.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to UNC Charlotte. We're really excited to have you. I am going into my third year of my PhD program in organizational science. I've been in Charlotte since 2016. I've worked full-time in Charlotte, both in the school system and the municipal government. So have a pretty strong familiarity with the Charlotte area, and I'm very excited to share that knowledge with new graduate students and support you as you transition into your work and your academic endeavors. But just really excited to be here to support you, and excited that you've chosen Charlotte, and it's a very exciting time to be here. And we have a tremendous amount of resources, as hopefully you can tell based on today's session. So looking forward to meeting you.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm going to go to Nicholas.
Hey, hello, welcome all. First, I want you all to congratulate yourselves on making it to this stage. This is a very, I want to say, prestigious honor to be included in the graduate school here at Charlotte. So I'm Nicholas Gathings. I'm a second-year doctoral student studying curriculum and instruction with a focus on curricular and educator development, or curriculum and educator development. So basically, that's a really fancy way of saying that I aspire to coach beginning teachers, helping them get more acclimated to transitioning out of their educator prep programs as they begin to teach wherever they may end up. And hopefully I'll be finishing next year, hopefully my third year next year in the fall of 2025. And if you ever need a listening ear or want someone to talk to, I have an office in the College of Ed, the Mebane Hall, as we now call it, room 116. I'm here to help, and I can attest to the variety of resources, especially the CGLL. That's very helpful. Come hang out, come hang out with us in the CGLL, get some coffee, get some snacks, talk to folks that are feeling the same exact things that you're experiencing. It doesn't have to be a lonely journey. The circle of support is great here at Charlotte. So we're happy to have you all. Thank you.
Thank you. And I loved how everybody is introducing themselves in the chat too. I'm loving this. Okay, Bambi, how about you?
I'm Bambi Kiolanda. I am going into my second year of my master's program of public health with a concentration in health policy. I also am a Charlotte native, so please don't hesitate to reach out to me about anything Charlotte related. I definitely have the answers for you.
Nice. And I think that Padmini now is able to talk to us. Are you there, Padmini?
Oh, yes. So welcome everyone. My name is Padmini, and I'm currently a master's student in information technology and have just completed my second semester. So I'm all excited to share that I am one of the new Graduate Life Fellows for the year 2024 and 2025 at UNC Charlotte. As a GLF, my role is to be your friend and guide you throughout your time here. I am help you to navigate the ups and downs of the graduate school. Choosing UNC Charlotte as your new home is a very big step, and I'm all thrilled for all of you as you start your new journey here. So graduate school can be challenging sometimes, and it could be stressful also, but don't worry, we're all here to support you in your every step, whether you need academic assistance or personal support, or you just want someone to talk. Me and my fellow graduates are always here to help and always here to chat. You can find my email in the GLF website. And yeah, welcome to UNC Charlotte family. We're all in this together, and I look forward to making your experience smooth and enjoyable as possible. So let's make these years great together. Thank you.
Thank you, Padmini. That was beautiful. Brianna, do you want to unmute and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Brianna. I'm a master's student getting my MBA with a concentration in data analytics, so that's pretty exciting. I also went to UNC Charlotte for my undergrad, so it's kind of interesting coming back and getting my master's. Feel free to reach out, through the GLF website and email me and contact me. I'm familiar with UNC Charlotte's resources and the different things they have on campus. So there's tons of information and resources to make sure that you have the graduate life that you're looking to have. And I'm really excited that you all are here, and I'm excited to be a part of this. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Brianna. And we have a couple of other GLFs as well who aren't here today. They couldn't make it. We've got one from the College of Art and Architecture. Her name is Kayla. And we also have Adams Familusi, who is our former GPSG president, and he's at a conference right now. He was going to join, but I don't see him here in the room. So unfortunately, those two are not going to be able to share their wisdom today. But so what we normally do at this point in our program is the GLFs and I are here to field any questions that you might have about graduate school, about your transition to graduate school, about how graduate school is different from undergrad, whatever big concerns you happen to have, we can discuss. So GLFs, now that you've been here a little while, do you guys want to tell us what you wish you knew when you started grad school? Like, how would you have done things different, or would you have done things differently? Yeah, what advice do you have for these incoming first-year students?
I can start. I wish I would have known. I said this a little bit earlier, but just the resources that were available to graduate students. As an undergrad, I knew who my mentors were. I knew who my advisors were right off. I knew where to go if I needed help for an assignment or how to But as a graduate student, I know that the expectation becomes more less I don't want to say hand-holding, but more independent. But there's still especially as a first year grad student, you still want to kind of know who to talk to or who to go to if you're having a concern with an assignment or a class, and you need to just kind of want to know how to navigate that. So I wish I really just kind of knew, for example, I'll keep going back to the CGLL, just kind of knowing that there's a space specifically for graduate students to find a quiet study space, or to find just a resource of someone who's going through the same things that you're going through, so just kind of knowing first day, what are my resources, how can I use them the best of my ability to make my journey as a graduate student more easier to navigate. So that's what I kind of wished that I'd have known, and that's something I would have done differently, is kind of sought those resources so I can have a better experience as a I'm not saying my experience has been positive, but day one, get into university and say, oh man, this is scary. I hope this isn't going to be the rest of the journey for me, just kind of establishing first day, what are those resources? How can I make the experience just positive, from day one, so that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you. And Andrew also said in the chat, leverage the resources at your disposal. Andrew, do you want to mention a resource or two or three that you might have in mind?
Yeah, for me, the library comes to mind. I mean, there's just a tremendous amount of resources in the library, and I feel every time I'm going into my third year of my PhD now, and I feel I continue to learn about additional resources through the library. So I think that's a great place to start for any graduate student, just to familiarize yourself with what's available there. Maybe introduce yourself and connect with the liaison there, the librarian who would liaise for your particular program. I think they can be a really instrumental resource for research and writing papers and so forth. So that's definitely one that comes to mind immediately, because I spend a lot of time there now writing. But beyond that, there's just so many great opportunities to attend sessions through our program as well. And so taking advantage of networking that way, but also just learning how to be a graduate student. I think, there's, you'll see in the first few months, there'll be some sessions available on how to write effectively as a graduate student, how to, project manage the workload that you're experiencing. So those are great free resources to tap into early on as you enter into your graduate school experience. So those are definitely two on front of mind for me right now.
Thanks, Andrew. And did you mention the Graduate and Postdoctoral Writing Center just now?
I didn't, but I alluded to that. And yeah, so that would be another great resource too. There are one-off sessions that are available, but the Writing Center, as you get into, writing papers in the first semester or two, working on theses and that sort of thing, I think the Writing Center is definitely a great opportunity. They have weekly, I'm not sure of the cadence now, but at one point in time, they had weekly sessions where you could go in and have some writing time, get some feedback from other folks, other graduate students participating in that. Then they have sessions on the weekend as well, where you can sit down and kind of carve out 5-6 hours on a Saturday, Sunday, and have some accountability. So I think, those are really great opportunities too. The Writing Center, phenomenal option and opportunity to get some support that way.
Yeah, the Writing Center, when I was in graduate school, when I was getting my master's degree, I never went to the Writing Center. When I was getting my PhD, I eventually started going, and I should have started so much sooner because, everybody needs help with their writing. And yeah, our Writing Center is relatively new. It opened in the fall. It's like our sister center. And our tutors, their schedules have been absolutely packed ever since they opened. And we also have a faculty fellow of grant writing who is associated with the Writing Center. So if you're interested in writing grants, he can help with that. And then let me see, Brianna had said something about planning ahead as much as possible. So Brianna, I know you are always juggling a million things. What can you be more specific? Because I'm sure we could all use some advice as far as that goes.
Yeah, so specifically what I mean about planning ahead is just being aware of your schedule and your overall lifestyle. I think one thing that I've really been paying attention to recently is what's my capacity and how do I make sure I'm taking care of myself with all of my obligations, whether that's work, school, outside organizations or other things I'm involved with on campus. So I actually have this little chart that I have where I just scaffold certain time for my commitments, for my classes, for all the things I'm doing. So it's really just kind of looking at the level of commitment that you have and making sure that you can be disciplined in that. So I think that's just really important when you're tackling something as big as grad school, just making sure that you are not overfilling your plate and that you can handle it. So just mentally preparing yourself to, walk this journey.
Absolutely.
And sorry, Dr.
Go ahead.
I was just say the university also has what they call a Center for Academic Excellence. That's something that has helped me tremendously. Basically what it is you can schedule appointments for time management, especially is very important at graduate school, especially with the amount of reading and writing that comes with being a graduate student. So basically you can schedule appointments to have someone sit down with you and kind of walk you through what your schedule looks like and kind of how to manage your time so that you're not just just fully focused on your graduate studies. You also have time to take a nice walk or just catch a breath and kind of figure out what works best for you. And I dropped the link in the chat. It's the UCAE, so it's the University Center for Academic Excellence. I highly recommend just when you have some time, just kind of really exploring all the resources that website and center has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just undergrad focused. They can do a lot for graduate students as well. And I think a lot of grad students don't realize that. So that's good information to have. Let me see here. Bambi, you said something about being visible and joining student orgs, or can you say more about that?
I think as graduate students, we kind of are very accustomed to juggling now, like real life and classes and things like that. So just be visible, not only just going to classes, but being present for the opportunities available. There are a lot of opportunities even within the university for networking and things like that. There are also opportunities that, can help you within your own program. So I do suggest not only just going to classes and just being in classes, but also connecting with your peers, your cohort, and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. And if we have a lot of distance ed students here, I know you guys always have questions about like getting connected and that sort of thing. We do have a distance ed breakout room at 5 o'clock. If you have any sort of questions about that, you can join the breakout room. And then I was also just thinking when I started my PhD program, my cohort, there were only 3 of us. It was a tiny program, and we all got chastised by one of our professors because we weren't attending enough department events, like other people's defenses and things like that. I mean, we had no idea, but after we got fussed at, yeah, we started attending a lot more stuff after that. So don't make that mistake. I wanted to talk about research for a little bit since we just recently had the Graduate Research Symposium, and I saw that Nicholas said something about taking advantage of opportunities to present your research. I don't know, Nicholas or maybe Caitlin, since you were so involved with the GRS this spring, do y'all want to talk about like what that is and why presenting your research is so important in graduate school?
Sure. This is like my whole deal in life right now is present my research, make sure other people understand it. So there are several opportunities available to you as a graduate student at UNC Charlotte to share and present your research, whether that be through a poster, a lightning talk, or a formal presentation. Our main symposium for grad students is the Graduate Research Symposium that is held annually in March. It is put on by the graduate students with a ton of help from the Graduate School, Urban Corps, the Division of Research, really everybody who has a vested interest in research and getting UNC Charlotte's name out there is here. I will also let you know that come about October, November, we will open up applications for people to join the committee and have a hand in planning, because this is a massive undertaking, and the more people we can bring on board to help us plan this and execute it, the better it goes. You can still present your work if you are a facilitator or an organizer, so I would encourage you to get involved both ways. It's cool to see a research symposium from the different angles.
Yeah, and Caitlin, GPSG also provides travel funding a couple times a year, right?
Yes, so this is one of the main draws of GPSG to a lot of graduate students. You are eligible for up to $800 worth of travel funding in a year. You can split that up between semesters. You can go for it all at one time. The choice is really yours, but it's really important to get your application materials in on time. We cannot make exceptions for late or incomplete applications. So if you do receive that funding, you would be reimbursed for costs incurred for your research presentations and conference attendance up to $800.
Yeah, so that should definitely be encouragement to attend conferences and present your work. Let me see. I think usually we always get a lot of questions about, or we at least land on the topic of imposter syndrome. I had no idea what that was before I went to grad school, and I think a lot of other people don't know about it. So would any of my GLFs like to say something encouraging about imposter syndrome?
Just know that everyone has imposter syndrome. I think, I feel imposter syndrome every day, I think. So I think if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I think you become habituated maybe to it, or more accustomed to feeling that way. But I think it's telling because it's an opportunity for you to learn and grow. But also I think you won't be the only person feeling that way. And even 2 years behind me now, I feel that way. So finding support, finding ways to process that, and know that you're coming into this program, you're coming into your graduate program because you've been successful as an undergraduate student and maybe a graduate student, or in professional capacities. And so you are capable, you're ready to go, you're ready to do this thing. There's plenty of resources to support you. So while you may feel like an imposter in the space, know that you can do it and you are qualified to do it.
Yeah, thank you. So if you've never heard of the term before, imposter syndrome, it's like when you feel like somehow you're not as smart as everybody else and like some sort of mistake was made and you shouldn't actually be here. I went through all of graduate school feeling like that, like they somehow mixed up my application with somebody else's or something. But yeah, everybody else feels that way. So, you know, it's good to realize that and realize that, you know, you have to speak up in your seminars, you have to talk to your professors and to your colleagues, and you can't be afraid to contribute because you think maybe you're not as smart as everybody else is, because it's just not the case.
Any questions? Add something
yes.
About the imposter syndrome.
Uh-huh.
So as a graduate student, it's okay not to be okay. So being a graduate student all the time, you'll feel like I'm not smart enough like other people. How I get hired or something like that. So don't be like feel low. So we all are in the same page sometime. So you have to push up or you have to pull yourself. Whenever you are like feel like maybe I'm not smart enough or I'm not understanding my research pretty well, just everyone is in the same page. As I say, just do yourself. What I'm not understand, just read through it and then discuss with other like what they are feeling, and then also discuss with your PI under whom you will be working on, and like what's wrong with you, like why you are not getting it, or then maybe your PI can come up with something, you can come up with something, and that can be a discussion and maybe you'll find out something. And another thing, you know, you research the best. No one know it better than you. So it's not like you have to be overconfident, but be confident about that. So you know you research the best. When you are like your PI or your professor handle a research or something to you, that means that's your baby. You know your baby the most. So be confident about that. And rather than that, if you have any mental issue or something else, yeah, during the research, you will have some issues. Just reach out to the mental health center there, and then also email us, any of us. We are like, as a GLF, we are like graduate student. We might help you and we can help you. That's the thing. And also, I want to add one thing. If anyone from science, or if anyone from chemistry or biology or physics background or physics department, you can reach out to me if I can help you with anything, research related, any question, or like anything like how to select your PI or how you can get into the flow and anything. Just please reach out to me. Thanks.
Thank you, Naz. I saw a lot of DE questions in the chat. And I can answer a couple of them really quickly. And then I see that Zafar has their hand raised. But yes, DE students, you should get a Niner ID card. You can get a mobile ID card on your phone. And I mean, that's what we're moving to in general, is mobile IDs. And then that way, if you do happen to come to campus, you can you'll have your ID card. And then also when you graduate, you need your ID card in order to pick up your graduation regalia. And so if you wait until the last minute when it's time to go pick up your regalia, then you're going to have a problem getting it. So yeah, get your Niner ID card. You can do it. You just do it online. You don't even have to come here. DE students, yeah, you can take advantage of a lot of like the programming that we provide here in the CGLL. And like the Career Center, we do a lot of virtual programming, but, if you happen to be in the Charlotte area and you want to come to campus, you can certainly come to any of our in-person events. And, you know, if you don't have, you know, if you're a DE student, you're not going to buy like, you know, a whole parking pass, but you can do a daily pass, which is cheaper than I'm trying to think what I'm saying here. It's cheaper than the parking, like paying for the visitor parking. If you get a daily pass, it's $8. So that's much cheaper than visitor parking. So in terms of like balancing, you know, your time as a graduate student, this is always a huge issue. Do you have advice for like efficiently reading, or, you know, maximizing your time as far as like research goes, or anything like that? Grad Life Fellows, do you have any advice?
Yes, I do actually. Learn to, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it because it's honest. Learn to skim effectively. Okay.
No, you have to.
You have to, especially like at the level that, I mean, like grad level reading is crazy, right? So don't feel like, you know, you have like a 100-page article and you have to like read cover to cover. Just skim effectively. One thing I will say, this is another piece of advice that I wish I would have like learned early on. Start what is called a matrix, like a literature review matrix. Is essentially a spreadsheet, and anything you read, and you can find them online, and I'll actually drop some in the chat. I think the Writing Center may have some. If not, I know another good resource that has like templates, but essentially, you know, it's a space where you can like, and they have different like softwares for this too, but you know, you'll have like the author and like the date that you like the date it was published, and then like maybe like a brief summary of what you read, like some key ideas or key terms, and then like a space for like the citation, because that will once you move through wherever you are in your graduate journey, when you get to publish, you know, for whether it's a dissertation or a thesis, you will have to obviously compile that in a reference page. But if you start early on and you're just kind of like you start to build on it, you won't have to kind of like feel like you have to rush around and find those sources. So just learn to skim effectively, and anything you are reading, make sure that you're like documenting it in some way. It doesn't have to be a spreadsheet. If you're like me, spreadsheets don't usually work best for me, because like I'm still kind of, you know, learning how to, every day I'm learning like something new about Excel or Google Sheets. So I like to just kind of use a software that's available for lit reviews. So just skim effectively and highlight. I'm old school, so I like to actually print out what I have and kind of like mark up and highlight. But, you know, find like a write-on PDF software or something where you can like highlight that way. But just that's really something that's helped me manage and stay organized. And I wish I'd have known that like in my first semester as a grad student. So that's the piece of advice that I have for that.
Can I interject here?
Yes.
Just know that if you are reading your articles with like 14 different Google windows open, you're not doing it wrong. There are people with full PhDs who do that.
There are emotional support tabs.
Yes.
Emotional support tabs.
I'm also kind of old school and will print out my articles and have color-coded highlighters for different points, or like words I don't understand and need to go look for. You can do that virtually, but I like the feel of pen on paper. My undergraduate mentee has like recently dragged me for this and told me I'm old because I don't use ChatGPT, but when he reads a paper, he puts it through ChatGPT and asks it to distill the main points for him. So like if it's something he's still a little fuzzy on, he can get some help with that. But I would definitely say take that with a grain of salt, because the people who are behind that are not experts in your subject area.
Okay, so we have, it's about 5 o'clock. So I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. We've got 3 rooms plus this main room here. So we've got, if you're an international student with questions, we've got Nita and Padmini will be in that room. If you have questions about anything distance ed related, we've got Jay, Louise, and Paris. And then if you're interested in like fun things to do in the Charlotte area, or also if you happen to be a parent, Nicholas and Andrew are going to be in that room answering questions. So you can feel free to turn your camera on, chat, get to know people, ask your questions. You can hop between rooms if you want to, if you've got various questions, and you can hop back to the main room I'm just going to sit here until 6 o'clock. And if you have any question that you think is like a really dumb question that you're embarrassed to ask, you can just come in this room and ask me, because I've done all of the dumb things in graduate school. But seriously, you can come in here and ask me anything. I'm opening the rooms. You guys go where you want.